everybody. This is Rob Hall from Custom Tones, and today we're going to go over the first video of the Ethos Clean Fusion Deluxe. The goal of this is to kind of give you an overview of the pedal, and later on we'll be doing more demos and video clips that will show applications of different tones and different ways to apply the unit. So the Ethos Clean Fusion Deluxe is really an amalgamation of inputs from you folks over the past 15 years. And so I'm going to just walk through everything at a top level, and then we'll dig into the details. So the pedal is really comprised of two main channels, an F channel, which is for a Fender Deluxe Reverb, and then a G channel, which is based on a Dumble Overdrive. There's an HRM EQ section that can be applied to both of those. There's a master section, which is used to tuning the unit to your destination sound source. And then obviously there's 4 foot switches here that allows you to select different modes and drive settings. The F channel is based on the Fender Deluxe AB763 amp. And essentially, it has the tone stack, which is a treble bass, which follows the same topology as that amp. The gain provides drive, so if you want to drive the pedal into its, has an emulated power amp section. So as you increase the gain, you'll drive the power amp, and you'll get a degree of limiting and compression. And then you set the overall loudness with the volume control. The channel also includes 2 controls. One, the top one is for a reverb, and the bottom one is a high cut. The reverb is based on a plate type reverb, and the high cut is a post variable low pass filter that allows you to tune the top end of the pedal and the post drive setting so that you can essentially let it get the right timbre at the end of the day. It's a very, very effective control. The D channel is based again on the Dumble 102 serial number. It starts off with a gain, which sets the overall drive. It's got a treble, middle, and bass. Again, the same topology as the 102. And then a volume control that sets the loudness. On a Dumble, there's typically 3 toggle switches that go across the front. And I've tried to simplify that with a single toggle here called the accent control. The 3 controls on the 102 are a bright, a mid, and then a jazz rock. This channel is set so that the equivalent setting would be the rock is on, and then when the switch is up, it would be the mid boost. In the middle, it's not active. In the bottom, you'd be turning the bright on. So it allows you to have those 3 settings. In the bottom, there's a gain control that allows you to set this control to 2 different gain levels. And what that does, it allows you to have better resolution of that gain setting, depending on what you're playing on the verge of overdrive or heavy overdrive. You can actually set this channel to have as low a gain to almost mimic or parrot what the Deluxe does, or you can set to be a very high gain setting. So it's very effective. It also has a plate reverb control over here, and a high cut, which is again a post high frequency control. The HRM EQ located down here is based also on a Dumble model. There's the high, mid, and low, and there's also a boost control. And in the middle position, the boost is about flat, and you can either attenuate it below your bass setting, or you can actually boost above the bass setting. This EQ is post drive for both of these, and it's also assignable. So you activate it via this HRM foot switch, and then over here in the master section, there's an HRM toggle switch. In the middle position, when you activate this, it will follow both channels. If it's in the F position, when you activate this, it will follow the F channel, and then if it's in the D position, it'll follow the D channel. So this is kind of nice because it allows you to pre-assign the EQ. In some cases, if I have a Fender setting and I'm playing a clean Fender, and I want to get a more Marshall-esque kind of tone, I would put it into the D position, and I would run it off the D channel, and then assign this to make it sound like a big cab setting. And we'll go through that in a follow-on video. But it's very versatile, and it really adds a lot of great sound. Likewise, you can assign it to the deluxe channel, and you can make the deluxe channel sound larger, or you can get a warm jazz sound. Again, there's a lot of flexibility with that. Over in the master section really is designed to allow you to take the pedal and tune the pedal so that it works really well with your destination source. So the first control is what I call the GAC control, and that stands for guitar amp compensation. Guitar amplifiers typically have a notch in them. And the way the pedal was designed is it was designed going into a flat band power amp. And the reason I did that was so that I could try to get an authentic sound to match those main amps. So I basically tuned both of these guys going into a power amp and got my bass tone. Well, when you go into a guitar amp, because it has that notch, you've lost the effect of it being flat band. So the GAC control primarily does that. What it does is it provides a mid boost that fills in the notch, making the response flat. And depending on how the settings are set, there's 2 degrees of boost. There's a low boost and there's a high boost. And so if you've got a big notch in your guitar amp, you'd want to be in the high. If you have a low notch, you'd be in the low. On the lower section, there's a presence control switch and a bottom switch, and these allow you to tune the low and the high end timbre of the pedal to match your amp, or just accent it. The presence control in the high position provides a 3 kilohertz boost. In the middle, it's off, and in the low position, it provides a high frequency cut. The bottom control in the middle position is off. When it's high, it provides about 100 hertz boost, and then when it's low, it provides the same boost but at a lower amplitude level. The pedal's controlled via the channel select, which goes between the 2 channels. There's a PAB boost, and that is dedicated specifically to the D channel. The PAB boost, it lifts the tone stack and ends up giving you kind of a high mid-range boost. And when it does that, these 3 controls are deactivated. There's the HRM foot switch that we talked about before, and then there's an active switch that turns the pedal on and off. The back features of the unit comprise of an input at 1 megohm input impedance, and then there's an effects loop, and the effects loop is post drive of both of the channels. It's also post reverb. It has an input. The send is 1 k-ohm, and the return is 1 megohm. The unit's powered off of 9 volts, and we're going to be offering foot switches that will allow you to have remote foot switch control of the features up front. And we'll have a video later on that will go through that in detail as we get closer to the release of those pedals. It's an RJ45, which is a standard jack configuration with multi-conductors. The headphone out works in conjunction with the Speak Sim out. It's a tap of the Speak Sim out. And the Speak Sim out is modeled after an Eminence Right, White, and Blue / Celestion G1265. So it taps off of that. So when you're listening to it, you're hearing that speaker emulation. The speaker sim out is a tip ring sleeve, so it's a differential output. And then finally, there's an output that's just straight out that you would go. You'd use that going into your guitar amp or a power amp. This output you'd use going into a DAW or front of house configuration. On the back side of the pedal, we offer a trim pot that sets the reverb delay. So counterclockwise, you set it low, and so that's a short delay. And clockwise is high, and so that's a long delay. When we sell the unit, we furnish it, we set it at halfway, and then you could tweak it either way you want. So that's the Ethos Clean Fusion Deluxe. We're going to be having more videos and clips to come, and appreciate you folks listening, and stay tuned for more. Thank you very much.